From Manitoba, we're heading up to Nunavut on Canada Day Live. It's brought to you by Multiple Sarcasm, a new book shining light on the ridiculous and making you laugh when you're sick of constant political drama from, well, you know where. What's it like crashing a backyard karaoke party or traveling with a train wreck colleague who insists on drama at every turn? Stories that achieve the ultimate climax in the book at multiplesarcasm.com and on Amazon and iTunes. Susan Aglukark is joining us now on Canada Day Live. Happy Canada Day to you, Susan.
And to you as well, Jeremy. Thank you.
Well, thanks for joining us and spending the holiday. So we're both Manitobans, although you live in Ontario now, though, don't you?
I do, yes.
And you've lived in the north, a place I have yet to visit myself, although we have been to Yukon. Northern Canada, home to some really incredible culture and history, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I have to say this. I call myself Manitoban by default, and only because when I was due, the closest hospital was Fort Churchill, Manitoba, and once I was born, we flew back to Nunavut, it was in Northern Territory.
Right.
Alberta is where I grew up, which is right on the west coast of the Hudson's Bay. So technically, I'm a true Northerner, born in Fort Churchill, Manitoba.
You know what's crazy is that I was almost born in Kenora, Ontario, when we were out, my parents, I guess, were out, and my mom went into labor, and they were rushing back at Falcon Lake, and so I was almost born in Ontario, so there we go.
So you know the story.
Yes. But when I think of music, though, we've got music all over the country, of course. There's just something more genuine, and it's steeped in history when it's from northern communities. I don't need to tell you that, you know that. It's more from the heart, it's more community and less commercial. It's not really commercial at all for the most part, is it?
No, it isn't, and you're absolutely right. In fact, I'm doing a new album right now, and I was in the studio today, and I'm writing this new album, and really, what I'm really drawn to is the more I've done this career, and it's been 25 years now, the more, ironically, I have fallen in love that much more with my culture, and especially the history, the places that we come from. And the more I research it, we come from the Bering Land Bridge. That's the theory I subscribe to. That's the one I believe. And as I learn more about these incredible ancestors, the songwriting is really storytelling of this incredible part of Canadian history, who Inuit are, who we were, where we came from. The journey alone to get from the Bering Strait across the north and into the regions that we've settled over these last several thousand years, and that's the music I'm writing. Those are the stories I'm telling. So it's not songwriting to songwrite right now. It's songwriting to tell this incredible story, and it's easy to do that when you write about the north.
Well, and that's the thing, is that music, any kind of music, is about storytelling, as you say. So there's a different message, though, when it's a country song about a breakup or it's, whatever. It really is music that comes from the heart, and it comes from within, and it's natural, is what it seems like.
It is, and yeah, absolutely. And I think part of what's exciting about has always been exciting for me when I engaged the songwriter, because there's this whole other process that had to happen for me coming from small town Nunavut and then into this incredible career, is I had to fall in love with what I was quote unquote representing. And when you come from a culture, you kind of take it for granted. Yeah, I've seen whales, I've seen polar bears, I've seen herds, I've seen it all, I've hunted. And then you take a step back and you go, okay, now you're representing something entirely different in your songwriting. You have a different responsibility to write from a different place and different memories, and you go deeper into different things. Like, oh my God, I love this. And you just really fall in love with that storytelling and sharing those stories from that experience.
There's always the concern that we hear about when it comes to languages or cultural heritage. I'll give the example, my grandparents spoke Polish and Ukrainian. My parents knew it when they were growing up, but they don't speak it anymore, so they've kind of lost the language. I imagine that's happening a lot with the generations in the north as well. It's happening everywhere, it seems.
Yes and no. I'm going to say it varies. It depends on what region you're from. Okay. The Eastern Arctic, for example, Inuit are very, very strong still in their Inuktitut. Having said that, there is something about the younger generation where there's a lot less of a desire to speak the language, but it's still very strong in the communities. In the Western Arctic, there was a struggle to I would say in the previous generation or maybe two generations in the area of the language, but it's been revived. So we haven't lost the language actually in all the different regions of the north, of Inuit regions. Again, it depends on which region you're from, but for the most part, we all speak the language quite well.
And for the music, it is represented at national events, international events now. It's quite mainstream, which I think is great too, that the country has embraced it. And it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere anytime soon. There's a new appreciation in 2017 for the music.
And I agree with you. There's this great organization out of Ottawa called Nunavut. It's an organization that is teaching. It's a pre-prep program for post-secondary, and a lot of young Inuit go through these prep programs for post-secondary, but part of their program seems to be a huge arts element, and they do a lot of public appearances and engage audiences in traditional Inuit dance and singing and even clothing. And there's a lot of that going on all over Canada. And all over the world, we get great young artists doing a lot of throat singing and storytelling now as part of their performances. So it seems to be a love that Canada is a love relationship that Canada is having with Inuit culture that gives us this opportunity to share it worldwide.
So let's now shift over and talk about you, who considers yourself an accidental artist. What does that mean?
Well, when I moved to Ottawa from small town Nunavut, I moved there to work as a translator, and I'd never sung aside from being a preacher's kid. I'd never written a piece of music. Frankly, I still don't know how to read or write music. I'd never done any live performing. I went from literally writing an album to headlining with nothing in between. I've never done the bar scene. I've never done there was nothing in between. So when I found myself this headline marquee, your name in the lights, and you're like, okay, well, now what do I do? Now you take it seriously. Now you have to learn the craft. Now you have to learn to sing. Because I had fallen in love with it. So, it's kind of a backwards approach, but as I was doing it, I was falling in love with it. So I imagine it as I stumbled along in the early years. So I really see myself as the accidental artist, knowing in my heart of hearts I was an artist, but the process itself was kind of a backwards process. It worked for me, but it was almost like accidentally there I was, and 25 years later, here I still am.
Susan, my accidents get me in trouble. Yours get you awards, the Order of Canada, performing for the Queen. I mean, come on. You've had quite a ride.
I would say the first 10 years, Jeremy, I was like, I don't think I've earned it yet. I don't think I always think of, when I meet amazing artists, I think, give it to him or give it to her, or let me nominate somebody else for this. There was at least the first 10 years I was like, oh my God, thank you, but really? Okay, thank you. Now I get it. I get the falling in love with the art and how hard we honestly have to hustle. We're really good hustlers. You learn to hustle for the work, and I've fallen in love with it, and now I'm at the point in my life where every award I get, yes, thank you, I've earned this one. So, yeah, I'm at that stage in my life. But there were certainly the early years when I was like, okay, thank you. Thank you.
You've performed for the Queen. You've had some really amazing opportunities in your career. Is there one that still makes you think, wow, this is pretty cool?
Nelson Mandela.
Oh, yeah.
How do you top that one? I mean, yes, the Queen was amazing. All of those opportunities were pretty incredible, and especially for someone coming from where I came from and never, ever dreamed that it could be what it was. But then you find yourself standing in front of Nelson Mandela, introducing yourself to him, and him getting up from his seat and saying, I'm Nelson Mandela. I'm like, yeah, the whole world knows who you are. It was pretty awesome.
Well, take me there. What's going through your head in that moment?
Well, it was a moment of, I had like 10 seconds. We had a bit of a glitch with the track, so I thought, okay, I don't think I'm ever going to have another chance to actually shake his hand. So I ran across the stage and walked over and said, hi, I'm Susan Aglukark. It's such an honor to perform for you. And he slowly got up from his seat and he leaned over and said, I'm Nelson Mandela. And it's like, oh my God. At that point, to still be so respectful and so humble. It just kind of, you leave realizing that's what you have to work towards. That's the leader of the world, you know, and you leave that much more humbled from that experience.
It might have ruined the moment if you would have said to him, I'm sorry, you are...
Yeah, oh my God, no. Absolutely would not have happened that way.
Let's shift gears now, though. It's our 150th birthday, of course, and so many wonderful places in Canada. Where is your... Actually, let me put it like this. Here's a one-way ticket, Susan. Go. Where do you go?
I would go home. I'm a northerner at heart. Every opportunity I get, I love to go home. My heart is on the land. My heart is fishing. My heart is hunting and camping. And really, every chance I get to perform, because they are so open. Our Inuit young people are so open, and when they're like that, you just want to give them everything. So I like to go home, and as much as going home is almost always a holiday, there's always some time set aside to spend some time with young people, to share the story, to share the music and the singing and the inspirations. That's where I always go.
Well, that should be fun. Now, I guess you're going to have all the updates about your performances and speaking engagements and everything on your website and social media, right?
Absolutely. They'll be posted once they're all firmed up on the website and on social media.
And what is the address for everybody?
Well, the Twitter handle is S_Aglukark. The artist page, if they go to my website, SusanAglukark.com, they'll see the icon for the Facebook. That's the quickest way to get to my Facebook page, where we update calendars. So those are the two ways to find all the current information.
Well, we will be sure to watch that. So by way of Manitoba and Nunavut, now in Ontario... Did I get that right? I think I did.
You got it right, yeah.
Well, Susan Aglukark, thank you so much for celebrating 150 with us. Happy Canada Day.
And to you, Jeremy. Thank you.